Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Lisa Zimmerman, and I am a Mary Kay beauty consultant and have been for coming up 9 years this December. And we this is my husband Chad. We've been married just over 9 years at this point already. We also have a 6-year-old Miss Marley, and you can come say hi really fast if you come over here. But we are just going to share some feedback on last weekend. Last weekend was Chad's very first time getting to attend a live in-person Mary Kay event, which was the Fall Advance with Sue Ponko and Lisa Matson. So we're very excited to kind of share our experience.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, welcome to both of
This
you.
is our fast
There's
little
Miss Marley. Hi,
hello. There we go.
Marley.
You can go sit on, yeah, sit here, but you gotta be super quiet.
Awesome. Okay, so Chad, I would love for you to share how did Lisa approach this with you to get you to even consider coming to a Mary Kay event? Because this is your very first one.
It was a very quick phone call because neither one of us were home from work yet, and I just finished. And she said, I wanted to run something by you. Well, actually, it was a text message, but then I called her back, and she was, so I have obviously fall advance coming up, and we both knew it was coming up. And she said, well, I got my red jacket, so I can bring you with me if you're open to it. She goes, I can just call mom quick and see if she can watch Marley. And we'll talk about it later. So she called her mom, and her parents literally took her for the whole weekend. So, and I was like, yeah, I'm game. Sure.
Okay. So based on now that we've gone through the weekend, we've already experienced Fall Advance versus how you were feeling before it even started. Were your expectations met? Were they exceeded? Like what were your thoughts coming into this versus what you saw after?
That's hard because I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't know what to expect. I would say that they were exceedingly blown just out of the water. I wasn't really planning for anything. I wasn't really honestly. I thought it because it was like classes. I thought it was just going to be, all right. I'm going to sit there and listen to a bunch of people. Like I can listen to a bunch of people, and I'll be perfectly honest. I mean, I part of me thought it was going to be boring, and then part of me was like, I'm going to enjoy it for as long as I can, just because I don't like being around a lot of people. One of us is far more introverted than the other.
Okay. Okay, fair. Fair. So when you did you know that there was going to be approximately 400 people there?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no. I mean, I knew it was going to be like big, but I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was.
Okay, okay. So if you were to sum it up, what was the one thing, or maybe a couple things that you took away from this fall advance for yourself?
Oh boy, I wasn't prepared for that.
Anything that you learned, just something that you could take away? Because obviously it's an event that's geared towards Mary Kay consultants and sales directors, but as a husband who
Yeah, but it
has,
became very. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
It became very easy once we got through the portion where Tom and Dan went up on the stage. And I there's something Sue said when it was not Sue, what Lisa said when would you talk to your kids the same way that you talk to yourself? And I have in the past said a lot of mean things to myself, like it happens on a daily basis. So what I took away is um, it's not just everybody that's there, it's also their spouses. I need to be a lot nicer to myself
Mhm.
because that will also help give her more support. And basically, she needs more support, and it is to get where she wants to be. And it's not just her.
Yeah,
It's not just her.
yeah, it's family business.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, so if you were to give advice to the other consultants that are watching this on trying to get their spouse or their partner, loved one to be able to come to an event, what would you give them as advice? How would you get them to come? if somebody's real resistant or maybe never even would think of coming to something like this?
Everybody's relationship is different, but you need to get your spouses to come. If you have the ability to bring a spouse, you need to bring a spouse.
Okay.
And it is not, it is perfectly summed up by it's not just you. And if you have trouble getting your spouse to come, I mean, what does that say? You really need to lay into your spouse and explain that this is beneficial for both of us. This is what I want to do. And it it takes both of you.
Yeah.
It's not just, I mean, for me to just sit back and sit on the back burner and just like watch her and be like, no, it's your business. You got this. I mean, what does that make? What does that say about me as a husband? I'm just going to let you,
Mhm.
what? You're going to work a full-time job and I'm going to work a full-time job when we have a daughter and we have a house that we own, and you're going to come home and you're just going to try to do it all by yourself. I
Mhm.
mean, you need to try to get, you need your spouse to go.
Yeah.
If you can get your spouse to go, your spouse needs to go.
Okay. So I'm going to sum that all up that this business is a partnership.
Yeah.
And the way Lisa Madsen and Mary Kay Ash always said is that when you have your spouse behind you, you become like a woman and a half. Like you have that support, you can go forward. And people who don't have the support of a husband, I mean, I've seen it very firsthand with consultants that they don't make it. They don't last in Mary Kay because they're constantly fighting against that spouse until they see the picture that it's a family business. And Lou was the same way. Once he went to seminar, well, he had been to other events before that, but seminar down in Dallas was the big one where he walked away and he was so proud of what I had accomplished. And he's like, I wanted to shout from the roof rafters and of the chairs that we were sitting in at the top of the arena and say, that's my wife down there. And I'm sure that you would love to see that as well, and to be able to
Yep.
be the one, that's my wife, that's my Lisa. Um, yeah, yeah. Look at the smile on your face. Okay. Anything that you else took away from this event that would be worthwhile for others that didn't go to know about, or just a feeling that you get from being at Fall Advance?
Take a chance. Don't be so scared
Mm.
and take a lot of notes. I mean, I wish I like she handed me a notepad and I was
Yeah,
like, no, she's gonna take notes. It's fine. And I wish that I would have taken notes. And I don't even sell Mary Kay, and I
yeah,
wish I had been sitting there taking notes.
yeah.
Um, but take a chance. One of the things I said to her, we went after we got home and I got out of the shower and I was like, well, so you can't be a national sales director past 65, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I asked her where she wants to be. And she said, well, I'd like to be a director. I'd eventually like to be a national. And I was like, okay, so we have 27 years left. And I said, how many of those do you want to spend in fear? And I don't know. That's kind of what I took. I mean, to sum it all up to make it easy, that's kind of what I took away is don't be so scared.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going to start rambling, but guys don't communicate like that. I told her this too. I was like, guys pat each other on the back and build each other up behind closed doors. I have never been to some place where women build each other up in front of everybody else so much.
Yeah.
So if you don't think you can, I mean, there's everybody else is there.
Yeah.
There's a huge support system, but you, not to reiterate again, but you also need it at home.
Yeah. Wow,
Sorry.
Chad.
I feel like I'm rambling a lot.
No, no, this is all good. And I'm going to share with you that from what I see as a changed man.
Oh, it was horrible going back to work on Monday.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I was literally walking around and I told her, I was just like, so this is fine. I was like, but our life is just not good enough. And I was just so like, I didn't want to leave on Sunday. It was like, there's got to be something else we could go to. There's got to be like another something else.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you that it is so awesome to see the two of you come together like this, because it really shows Lisa that the sky is the limit now. And with your support behind her, I mean, there is no greater gift you can give her. And to keep encouraging her and, encouraging her to be on the meetings and to find a way, make a way so that she can be a part of what we call the pink bubble. And
Hmm.
now, down in seminar, what she experienced is like 1,000 times what you just experienced at Fall Advance. And Career Conference, which is coming up March 13th and 14th in Milwaukee this year, is like 500% more than what this is. Seminars, 1,000% more. So the events just get bigger and better, the bigger they get, and with corporate putting them on as well. So yeah. Anything else that you wanted to share? Open forum.
I there's something you said a while back to when we had sat down with you. It was a couple of years ago because we already lived here. You said that nobody continuously grows with Mary Kay unless they go to places like this. And I after I couldn't be more right.
Hmm.
And I really feel like I sound like a commercial.
No,
Um,
you're speaking your truth,
I don't
which is
know.
important.
I don't know. There's so many thoughts. There's so
Yeah.
many thoughts. I just
You're a
lost
change-
track of the one that I had.
Yeah. Well, you're a change man, and the thoughts that are in your head now they're like the old thoughts are just like busted. They're gone. And now now you're going to start to see, like you did when you went to work on Monday and Tuesday and now Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, that we are so different from the regular world. And I think you're at the point where I was when I started doing all my Mary Kay stuff, and then all of a sudden I go to work every day and be like, I can't stand this place. Oh my gosh, they don't treat people right. Like nobody is telling me I'm doing a good job. They're telling me only when I'm doing a bad job or didn't get a deal. It's like Mary Kay and then the rest of the world. And that's one of the things that's so hard to explain to people that we're trying to help see the benefit of a Mary Kay business, trying to build, have them become a consultant, is because they can't see what you just saw, because you got to
Yeah.
be there to feel it.
Well, and you know that I am a very stubborn guy. And it's one of those things where like you come home and your wife is like, you have to take better care of yourself or you have to eat better. And I'm just like, yeah, you have to say that, you're my wife. But then you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you you need to eat better. It's like, yeah, okay. And then she'll just be sitting there like, hello. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like you can come home every day and talk about Mary Kay, and half the time it some of the time, not half, that's an exaggeration, would be in one ear and out the other. But then when you go to some place where somebody else says it,
Yeah.
and especially when it's like they're Dan and Tom up there too, is like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It's a different type of validation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes stubborn men need that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being open and vulnerable with that and being honest, because I think once you can admit those things, now it's just moving forward.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing. I mean, Lou, I don't know if you've ever heard the story, but he said he was never going to go to seminar. He said, I'll go to seminar when you're a sales director. He thought I was never going to become a sales director because it took me a couple years to get that done. And then when I became a director, I'm like, now you got to go. And he fought me tooth and nail. Like he did not want to go. And the whole way down there we drove, I literally thought, I said to him, I go, you know what? When we get there, you can just leave me there and you can drive home and I'll fly home. Well, the minute he stepped foot into the hotel where all the Mary Kay people are, he ran into Bill Peterson, Cheryl's husband, and Bill invited him out for the evening. All the guys went out for dinner and drinks, and they can drink at Mary Kay events. We can't. They had the time of their lives. He got home later than I did from a meeting. So, and that was it. Then he went every year until Hannah was a baby, and then we couldn't find sitters for her. So, but anyway, yeah. So you guys are stubborn, and we just try to get through to you as fast as we can. So I just applaud you, Lisa, for finally just being gutsy enough to just say, look, I want you to come. And I think that was half the problem, not the problem, but that was half of what needed to happen for him to be able to say yes. And I'm just so proud of you too, because now I see the sky is the limit for Lisa and for you, Chad. I mean, this business is for you too, to reap all the benefits and the rewards and little Miss Marley.
Mhm.
It's like if I, I don't know. I don't know. If if wow, hello. Let me try to back that up. If there was a point, like if you got to a point of being director, like I told her this, that it's last night or the night before, was if she got to that point, like it was almost like whoever sitting on stage, like you bring home, if you get to a point where you get a car, then we're both quitting our jobs, and I'm getting a part-time job just to do whatever I can, and you can just put everything into that, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you're in a car, you're a sales director because only sales directors are in cars now. So
Yes,
there you go. Okay, Lisa, any last things?
Um, I think I just want to say, and I know I already said it, I just want to say one second. Thank you for being open. Because I mean it was a worry for me. But I just knew I had to get you in that space amongst everyone to be able to see it, because it's, unless you can touch it, see it, feel it, sometimes it's just a unicorn off in the distance, you know? So it's, yep, a unicorn. So it's, for me, it made me feel a little more like seen and heard, which was huge for me because I have struggled with, you know, a lot of like guilt and fear and things like that over the years. So just having you there to be able to listen and then also say, hey, we got this afterwards. I mean, that's a huge thing for me.
Mhm.
And I appreciate you going. I really do.
I wish there was another one this week.
He didn't want to leave.
I didn't.
He's like, you sure there's not like 3 more days of
I
classes?
told Lisa Madsen the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you can give him the hotlines to call into
I
and
did. It's in his phone already.
and the million dollar messages too. Give him
Oh, yeah, I
those.
didn't think about that one. I've
Yeah,
got that one too.
those are top $1 million sales directors whose
Yeah.
units have done 1 million doing
Mhm.
those messages. So yeah, there's
The one from
plenty of
today was
stuff.
really good. You should listen to that one.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff where you can, because you drive a lot, you can call in and listen to these things. And you know, you can get your cup filled every day just by listening to positive people. And
Yeah.
it not necessarily has anything to do with Mary Kay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Funny
we're
story.
gonna,
This morning, I actually listened to Lisa Madsen's speech from seminar last year on the way to work.
okay. And we're gonna get all the general session
Yes,
from
we're getting
this.
the whole video.
Yeah, we get it all free.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely you'll have all of that to listen to over and over and over again.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay. We got a Mary Kay man on our hands.
Sure do. He wants to
Okay.
lose polo.
There you go.
I already told Lou that.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and end our recording. And thanks you guys for being on.